this is really what I'm bringing into 2024. And it was just this quote, and it said, it's not your job to dim your lights so they don't feel intimidated. Let them be uncomfortable. And that for me was like, yeah, I've been told a lot in my life that I'm intimidating. And I realized that's not my problem.
Yeah, that's not a me thing. That's a you
That's not
thing.
that's not my problem. I'm not intimidating. You're intimidated by me if you are, right? So that's
That
really what I'm.
reframe, Colleen, is incredible. Hi, I'm Cheryl Medeiros.
And I'm Colleen Hungerford, and this is We're Doing This Right, right? Podcast for the whole woman, mind, body, soul, and business.
It's humor infused, as real as it gets, inspiring, and you'll walk away with real usable tools for life and business.
If you love what you're hearing, please share with a friend, subscribe so you'll never miss an episode, and rate and review whenever you listen.
So find your earbuds, lace up your walking shoes, or cozy up with a beverage of your choice. It's time to dig in. Okay. Hey, I'm
Hi.
doing it right.
Yeah,
Are
Happy
you?
New Year. Yeah, I am doing it right, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Every day I think I'm doing it right, and sometimes a little bit wrong. But also not. I think I'm doing it right as best I can.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think that, hey, in for 2025 is just thriving and trusting yourself.
Yes, I love it.
Without further ado, I guess, yeah, let's just introduce it.
We got this idea from our amazing friend, Allie Buscemi, Allie and Rally. And she's going to be on the show soon. So that's really fun for us. And she did a whole ins and outs list for 2025. And we were like, yes. We
Hell yes.
also want to do an ins and outs list because people love a list. And so do we. So we're going to chat today about what is in for us individually and as a team for 2025 and what is out. And basically kind of, I guess, defining that as like, what do we want to do in 2025? What do we want to focus on? What are we not focusing on? Or what are we removing from our lives in 2025?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Where should we start? You want to be in, out, go back and forth? How are we doing this?
Yeah, let's do, I think some of our ins and outs like reciprocate a little bit. So maybe we can yeah, let's just roll with it. Okay. So Cheryl, it doesn't have to be your number one, but like, what is your first in for 2025 that you want to share with us?
Quality sleep and taking legitimate rest. So I was listening to a podcast the other day. I'd like to tell you what it was, but I forget. But anyhow, I think it was that I follow her. Her first 100K is, I think, her thing on Instagram. Feminist, fabulous. Financial feminist.
Mm-hmm.
So
her name is Tori something.
Yep. Yes. And I'm loving her right now. I've been really enjoying that. And she recently had an episode on rest, which incidentally, earlier in the year, one of our Inspire Her gals, when she was presenting her meeting topic, it was on the 7 different types of rest. So I had already heard it before. You know how sometimes like you can hear things. And then when you're actually ready to hear the thing, it actually sits and hits where it's supposed to. So it was talking about how just not being working is not necessarily rest.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
I do many things for work. I work with my kids, mother truckers, those kids. I'm looking at my office from a different angle right now, you guys, and I can see my little shithead kids drew on one of my beautiful, cute knobs in here, and it's colored purple. So speaking of those sweet little angels.
Nothing is our own.
Nothing belongs to me. So when I'm not working on real estate, I'm generally with my kids. When I'm not with my kids, I'm generally always working on real estate, the podcast, our Inspire Her, our entrepreneurial development stuff, growing my team, managing my family's finances, our home, managing the help that we've hired and projects for them. And there's not a lot of off in my brain. There's not like a time where I really, truly just stop doing everything, let my brain rest, let my body rest, just kind of be with myself. And I know how valuable that is. I feel like we've talked about it so many times, but
Yeah.
it's so hard to be consistent with resting
Yeah.
because I'm so ambitious and I'm so high achieving. And I
Yeah.
know so many of the people that I'm talking to relate. And there's just a lot of shit to do,
There's just a lot of
truly.
shit to do. And
Like,
isn't it interesting that you have to be intentional about rest?
yes,
God, like you have to like put it on your list, your task list.
you got to schedule it on the calendar. And there's this saying that I forgot already since 2 seconds ago because I never rest. What is it? Oh, we don't have to earn our rest.
Oh my God, yes.
Like we all, as human beings today in this body, regardless of what you've done so far today, what you plan to do later, like you deserve rest. I deserve
Mm-hmm.
rest. We all deserve some rest.
Yeah.
So leaning into that and
Okay.
being consistent with it is my goal. Like even when I'm so good about after a trip scheduling like blocks of time on my calendar the day I get back to not have
Right.
to fly right into everything. I have the block of calendar and then I fill it with a zillion things. I don't actually give myself a recharge.
Right.
Back to the conversation we've had before where trips with my kids, which is the types of vacation I'm taking, that's not rest. That's not a vacation. That
No.
is parenting in a different location.
I will say it will get easier as they get older. We are, once this is aired, we'll be back, but we're leaving tomorrow for a trip, and I think it will be work, but it will be one of the first family trips that we go on that isn't for a wedding or for something. Well, we went to Michigan, but anyway, a big trip, and I'm excited, and I think we are going to get to rest, and I think we are going to get to like chill a bit because Jackson's 6.5 now, so it'll come. Those vacations, and we'll have some more elements of rest. Some not, but some more. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I am seeing Alex see me and see that I am in dire need of some rest and like
Yeah.
taking the girls away from me so that I can
Yeah.
just be with myself. Saturday, I had a massage, but I was in pretty dire need. And so I went and soaked in the hot tub for like 10 minutes for my massage, went and got the massage. And then these things are like only a parent can understand. But like I went to the store by myself and I got a car
Yeah.
wash by myself. And then I got to
Yeah.
come home and they weren't here. So I got to unload by myself. And
Yeah.
as much as that's not really rest, but it was like a mental
It's
break.
it's mental rest, I think, right? Because even just, and I said this to David last night, like they're just so loud. And
So
that is
loud.
like a lot of work to just like process thinking while all of that noise is happening. Okay.
Well, okay,
So
real quick though on
rest.
that topic, because I want to be sponsored by them. I just ordered those Loop headphones that
Oh.
they have many different types. There's like concentration where it's going to like block out all noise. There is like parenting, what are they called? Engage. So they're like it blocks out a lot of the noise but makes it so you can still hear a conversation.
Okay.
Because often when I put my headphones in at home to like listen to something else to shut them out, if they're in like blackout mode, then I just can't even hear them and it's just too much. Then I
Mhm.
end up I'm annoyed. So anyhow,
Yeah.
I'm really excited about these. I don't have them yet, but stay tuned.
Oh, I'm
I'm trying to
excited.
block out a lot of stimulation in 2025. That's also in for
Okay.
me. Or out is
Okay.
stimulation.
Out. Overstimulation is out. I'm
Out.
with you on that.
Okay.
Okay. In for me in 2025 is nepotism. Now, I say that and you're all like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? And here's what I mean. I mean, in this idea of like, and we talk about this all the time, but like lifting others as we rise. This idea, some of these like major ideas we have are the stupidest, simplest things, right? But I am going to be on a panel in February about women in business, female friendships, things like that. And I am helping host the event, so I kind of get to choose like who's going to be on the panel. And the other two groups that I'm hosting with, I was kind of like, well, I'll let them choose. So like, it seems more legit or something like that. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Two of my very best friends here are both really amazing women entrepreneurs. And why should I not just ask them to be on this panel? And I was hesitating on that because I didn't want it to seem somehow, quote unquote, not legit because they were my best friends. But then I realized, like, maybe we talked about this already on the podcast. I'm not sure, but here I am again because this is in for me. This is what men do, right? This is what men do. They have their bros, they have their frat bros, or they have their buddies they grew up with, or that they just bring along the way, right? And at least these women are really amazing and really talented and really successful in what they're doing, and people should hear their voices. And I have a platform and an ability to share their voices to a different audience. So that is so in for me in 2025. Is I have always been, I guess they call this now like a girl's girl, right? Like, I am going to champion you, Cheryl, no matter what. And I will cheer you on. If you like, change your shirt in the middle of the day and you look amazing, I'm going to be like, yes, that was such a good idea. Like, you're amazing. Look at you, right? Somebody posts something on, like, if you want a super fan, friend me on Instagram and I'll be your super fan, no doubt. And so that is so in for me in 2025. It's something that I feel really passionate about, is just like continuing to support women, but also just like continuing to support and bolster the women who are just so directly around me that I can really impact so dramatically. So nepotism is in for me in 2025.
Love it. Well,
Yeah.
and I want to speak on the fact that there's the saying that we're the sum of the people we spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Colleen, you're a badass, high achieving woman who like kicks ass. And so of course your friends are that.
Yeah.
They belong there as much as you do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
we're surrounded by incredible humans. We should lift them up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Good.
So follow me on Instagram and tag me in anything that you do because I will be your number one fan. Okay, so what is out for you in 2025?
Well, this relates to my first in that I shared, the quality sleep and rest. Is things that interfere with me being my best self are out. Okay. And so I teased this almost a month ago, probably, that I was going to take a break from alcohol because it was interfering with my sleep. And I have stuck with that. And
Yay.
I've made it through Christmas parties. I made it through Christmas. I've made it through parenting. And I haven't had a drink and I feel good.
How's your sleep? Is your sleep better?
I know that alcohol is not the only thing affecting my sleep, to be fair. I can't say whether it's probably better in the times when, like, I've been PMS this whole last week, guys. I don't sleep during that. I've got like insomnia related to my hormones right now, which I'm also is getting that shit checked out. So, but I just like, I haven't woke up with a headache. I haven't woke up, I know that I'm not making anything worse. Yeah. And to talk a little bit more about, I guess, what motivated this is, well, first of all, I'm a high achiever. I want to fucking shine in everything that I do.
Yeah.
I want to feel my best so that I can do my best.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really good at work, like the things that I consider work, which would be doing like podcasts, the entrepreneurial development for females, real estate. I'm great at those things. They come naturally. It's fun and engaging. Parenting's been very difficult for me. And it feels like shit that I don't feel that I'm great at it because I'm so good at so many things that, like, the thing that is most important is the thing that I feel that I'm failing at the most. And I assume I'm not alone in this. I know that, like, absolutely, we all feel like that. But one of my children is struggling with some pretty severe behavior issues. And I'm suspecting that we have something called pandas. So if anybody's ever had that, reach out to me because we can talk about it. But I'm chasing down some specialists in January to get her into to see. Basically what we're seeing is after she has strep throat for 6 to 8 weeks following that, she's a completely different person with like severe outbursts, regression in behavior, and also just like her talk. Like last night I had a friend over and she started to kind of escalate. And my friend's like, I thought that was my 2-year-old. I'm like, I know. It's crazy. We've had accidents. We've had none of these things are normal. This child is like our sweetest child. She's everybody's favorite. No, kids, I don't have a favorite, and neither do my
Yeah.
friends, but you guys, she's everybody's favorite. She's just so sweet and loving and adoring. She's a completely fucking psychopath for 6 to 8 weeks following a strep infection.
How
And
often is she getting
we've
strep?
had two since August. So
Yeah.
several times a year. I started suspecting this like a year and a half ago. And then this December, we started therapy in September, right after we went back to
Mm-hmm.
school. She had strep the week we started school.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started therapy in September because I was like, who is this person? I started to worry about my other kids' safety around her because she's gotten aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been doing that. And then I was like, wow, she's doing so great. We're down to once a month. Like what we're doing is working. And then she got strep the first week in December. And then we completely have gone back to where we were. And we're still using
Yeah.
all the tools and we're still doing all the things. Like that hasn't changed. And it dawned on me, unfortunately, a week too late after my open enrollment, because I would have moved her over to my insurance because I think we're going to have her tonsils taken out. But I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, this is what that is. So, anyways, all this to say, we're going through it with this, and I need to be my best version of myself to dig so fucking deep to patients. There's
Yeah.
the thing about you can't, like, you have to pour in yourself to be able to pour into others.
Yeah.
And I've been in quite a bit of therapy personally, and then with her as a family as well over the last several months. And like the resounding message I keep hearing from the therapist back to me is, what are you doing to take care of yourself?
Right.
And there's no time, there's no, all the things, but like if the 8 hours in the middle of the night is the only time that I have to pour deeply into myself, I better sleep really fucking well.
Yeah.
So all that to say, alcohol's out.
Alcohol's out.
And
Well, I remember when my sister, was had just had Zephyr, she was really sleep deprived, and obviously, that happens, right? Like we all are. And she was like, sleep deprivation is literally like a military form of torture. This is literally so like it makes you psychotic. I mean, it literally does, right? Like it literally makes you, it fucks up with your hormones, it fucks up with your body, mentally, physically, all of it, right? So it is such an important key. When she said that to me, I was like, damn, yeah, like that makes sense. Like imagine you're trying to do all of these things on like 4, 5
interrupted hours.
uninterrupted, yeah, like interrupted hours of sleep. Like, no shit. It's also like miraculous what you are achieving. Like
Yeah. So
that's
imagine if I
incredible.
like had uninterrupted sleep of like quality and what that
Yeah.
could do. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
always joke like I haven't had consistent sleep since August, since I was pregnant with August.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is 8 years, guys.
Yeah.
8 years that I've not had consistent sleep. Fuck that. So
Yeah.
we're diving in to figure
So
out everything I could
making that a
possibly
priority.
do. Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
huge priority because it will improve everybody's quality of life. If mommy ain't
Yeah.
happy, ain't nobody happy.
I
So
agree. And I think even just, we talk about vibrations, or you talk about like connections, or you talk whatever, like when mom is off, everybody's off. It's just the
right,
way it is.
right.
Okay. Remind me what's out on my list.
Okay. Oh, I like this one for you. Things that make you feel like you need to shrink yourself.
Oh, yes. This is so out for me. So everybody get ready for extra me. I
Extra,
think
extra. Read all about Colleen.
I really have gone through an evolution. I was a really, really shy kid. Really, really shy kid. So this goes back really a long time. And I have a really like I was raised by two very dominant and vocal women, my mom and my sister, right? And I never felt like I needed to speak because they did for me, right? And so that's something that like you would never guess about me if you knew me now, like and you met me or whatever. But I think there has been a continual evolution of me developing into just like continuing to be myself, like find myself, if you will. But I really think, honestly, since my 40s and really being in a space where I'm continuously working to be really just authentically me and kind of shedding away all of those fears, all of those fear of perception or fear of being judged or whatever you want to call it and think about it, like those are continuing to just like peel away from me. And there are definitely like situations where I've been in where I have felt like I needed to be just a little bit less or needed to be just a little not as good or not shine too much, right? Like shine, but not too much because that's going to make somebody else feel bad. And then I just posted this thing the other day, and this is really what I'm bringing into 2024. And it was just this quote, and it said, "It's not your job to dim your lights so they don't feel intimidated. Let them be uncomfortable." And that for me was like, yeah, I've been told a lot in my life that I'm intimidating. And I realized that's not my problem.
Yeah, that's not a me thing. That's a you thing.
That's not my problem. I'm not intimidating. You're intimidated by me if you are, right? So that's
That
really what
reframe, Colleen, is incredible because
Yeah.
I have been given that same feedback that I'm intimidating. And I'm like, why? I think I'm approachable and I think I'm authentic and
Yeah.
I think I'm so real and I'm all these things. That it's a them thing. It's not an us thing.
Yeah.
Ah,
And it's
thank
like, well,
you.
what is it about you that you're intimidated by me and the things that I'm doing and the success that I'm having or the way that I act or whatever? You know, like
Well,
if I'm doing this authentically and this is authentically me and it's not it's not me trying to intimidate, because that's different, right? But if this is just me and this is who I am and you're intimidated by that, then that's it's not something I'm willing to change for that person, for whoever that is. Because if they can't just see me and see that this is authentically me, then that's a them thing to fix.
the several thousands of dollars I spent in therapy in my 20s, I like it can be summed up to this one tiny statement that simplifies it, but that's not mine. Like
Yeah.
their shit, that's not mine.
Yeah.
I just get to be
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love 40 because we get to just authentically shine
Oh
as
my God.
ourselves and like throw
I
all the
just
other bullshit out.
I really love it. And it really it hasn't allowed me. I have allowed myself in this time to just really go for what I want and go big, and continue to peel away those things that were holding me back, and all of those things that were holding me back were me things or me allowing other people to do that. So that's really what I am not going to be doing in 2025. And there's definitely times where I was like, oh, I'd really love to do this, but I'm afraid somebody's going to think that's lame, or somebody's going to not like that, or think that I'm super extra or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm not going to be doing that in 2025.
I love that.
So,
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so in for me this year, thanks to Miss Susie, I have words for this. Asking for help. So if you listen to our last episode, we had Susie on Susan, and she talked about asking for help and how it can be a gift to someone else to ask for help.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my obsession with it being reciprocated is taking away their ability to just do things out of the goodness of their heart. Like it does not have to be
Yeah.
a quid pro quo, whatever.
Quid
you guys.
pro quo.
Yeah,
Yes.
that thing. It doesn't have to be that. It can just be that people want to help me because they want to help me from the bottom of their heart or because I need it. And I get to give that when it works for me. And I know that I give help without even thinking twice about it. So I don't know,
Right.
like we talked about, when I was conditioned to stop asking for it, but I'm going to just ask because I need it. And
if they can't do it, they'll
no.
just say no.
Right.
But if they can, I think one of the things that really came up in that conversation also was like, you don't know what that person feels like they need to reciprocate and from when, right? Like they might want to love to help you because somebody else has helped them in a similar situation. Not necessarily you, but
Right.
somebody else, right? So
Right.
allow people to help you. Allow them
Right.
to do that.
Yeah.
Give them the opportunity. Give them that gift. I love
Right.
that.
I am when I am asking for help though, and I'm going to continue to do this, is say, I don't want you to answer me right now, but I want you to take a minute to think about this, but I could use help in this area. And then just give them permission to think, because I also want to take a beat before I answer things, because to my next out is saying yes. Saying yes is out for me. And I've already started to say no. It is so hard for me to say no, but I am so fortunate that the hard work that I have put in over the last several years is truly paying off. And I'm busy. My life is full of amazing things that are lucrative and that are helping me build the life that I want for me and my family. And I need to protect my time to lean into that. And so saying yes is out in 2025. It will be a very thoughtful yes if you get a yes from me. And if it's a no, it's not because I don't love you.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about me. And that's okay.
Yep. That's okay.
That's okay.
Okay. What is my next in on our list? What did we
authenticity, which is
touched
on some already.
Touched about this. Yeah, I just think being as authentic to myself and also as authentic to the person that I want to be. I think there's something to that too. Like I'm continuing to grow and I'm continuing to evolve into the woman, into the mom, into the business owner that I want to be. And I think being authentic to that this year is important to me.
I love it. So authenticity is one of my deepest values. Mm-hmm. I love showing up as who I am because I think I'm pretty cool. So
you are cool. Yeah. And I will bring into that with that is like, it's okay if it's extra because so am I. So that's just, and also like we think about that as being like a bad thing, like extra, like being extra, but also maybe I'll just get rid of that because that feels like a qualifier. Like I have to somehow justify who I am. And it's like, I can just be happy with the things that I like and I want to do and be how I want to be. So
just be authentically you.
Yeah.
I love it. That needs to be in the center of your vision board.
Yeah. Yes.
Over like a picture of you just owning life.
Yeah. And I think to that, I think there's so much of this is like, I authentically to my core, like want to make a lot of money because that supports my family and it allows me to have the lifestyle that I want. And I want to no longer feel bad about that or feel like I should hide that in some way or not, or, this idea of being humble. Not that I want to go out and be like, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm so great. But also maybe I do. Like maybe people should know that I'm great and I should celebrate that. And I should be okay with being great. And if somebody feels like that's weird, then again, that's on them.
Yeah. So here's what I'd say. Don't go blow your nose with hundreds when you're out to dinner.
Maybe I'm going to.
If you want to, if that's authentically you, go for it. But that's where we need to be humble. Like no one needs to look in my bank account. That's nobody's business. But you love making money and that's okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I love making money. Who the fuck doesn't love making money? Do you know who normalized this and made it okay for me? Chip and Joanna Gaines. They are the most down to earth, amazing, incredible humans. And they fucking built an empire. And they're not apologizing.
We associate making money with not being authentic and not being real. So I think there is something to quote unquote opening up your bank account and saying, guess what? To your point, you can be fucking rich. You can blow your nose with $100 bills, and that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you inauthentic. That doesn't make you a snob, right? Like I think we associate those things, and I think that's really the barrier of feeling like I have to be humble, but like also I don't want to be ashamed of what I'm doing. I want to be proud of the work that I put in. I want to be proud of the things that I'm doing. So there's an interesting societal dichotomy there where you're like, okay, well, if you're successful, you shouldn't really show it off. Like they talk about, and I get this, like, and that goes to authenticity, right? There's the really wealthy people who wear just jeans and a t-shirt and they don't drive fancy
Warren
cars
Buffett.
Or whatever, right? But it's like,
and then there's
President
Trump
who don't really have a lot of money and they like, whatever.
Oh.
But
I was
or the
showcasing the
idea.
two different levels of wealth or the two different
Well,
ways people
yes.
behave with
Well,
their
I guess
wealth.
what I was saying is like there are people who like can't pay their mortgage, but they're driving a Ferrari, right?
Right.
The image of wealth. So I want to be authentically myself. I think I like nice things. I want to be able to have the things that I want to have. I'm willing to quote unquote open up my bank account because I also think that that shows people and that shows women you can do it and you can be authentically yourself and you can make money and you can have nice things, but that doesn't make you fake. That doesn't make you any less real. Like those are the things that I'm really trying to strive for. And even I guess maybe even struggle with my figuring out myself. I don't have the answers to this and that's why I'm working on it. But yeah, I think that that's something that's important to me that I'm going to continue to work on this
Love
year.
it.
Okay.
I love it. Okay. Let's see. Outs.
What do we have for outs?
Oh,
What do
I
we write
see.
down?
Okay, so looking for the magic answer is out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when I first said this, I said coaching, and we all cringed because we love coaching, right? When we were first talking about this. But really, what it is this obsession with trying to find the magic answer to success, trying to find
Easy button.
the easy button, the thing. This next course is really going to be the thing that takes me to the next level. I spent a lot. I mean, I just finished my financials and I spent a lot of money on coaching last year and it was all really, really good. But what I'm going to do in 2025 is apply that. Like stop looking for something more or looking for something different because when it really comes down to whatever that term is, like brass tacks or whatever it is, like it's all the same. Every coach is coaching, especially in real estate, essentially the same thing, right? But there's a place for coaches because everybody learns a little bit differently or you need to hear it a couple different ways. And I am not hating on coaching whatsoever, but I think I need to take the time and the opportunity to really apply instead of just trying to learn constantly. Like this is a time I'm always learning, so don't take that the wrong way, but actually putting the application into place over a consistent period of time. I think
So
that's what I want
here's
to do.
what I think happened in 2024. I think you drank from a fire hose. And when you're
Oh,
drinking from
yeah.
a fire hose, like how are you ever going to be able to implement anything? There's not time when you're just, okay, well, now I have this next coaching call. Well, now I'm learning this over here. Now I have this over here. Like we spend so much time in the classroom, if you will, that there's
Yep.
no time to do our homework.
Yeah.
And the homework is how we get our return on investment from that coaching.
Yeah, like this is going to be my residency year, right? This is the year where I'm like
Apply
going
it.
to
Implement
apply all, I'm going to go into the field and apply all of these things that I've learned and no longer relying on the classroom to guide me. I think I'm not saying I'm giving up coaching in any way. I'm not saying that coaching is bad in any way. I would love to coach at some point if that makes sense for me because I'm trying to figure that out because I want to help people and I'm trying to figure out like what that looks like for me. But I think I just need to give myself the opportunity and the space to like really apply all of the things that I have learned. So that's what I'm going to be doing in 2025.
It's like coming out of a seminar. Like you go to any conference, you go to any seminar, you drink all the Kool-Aid. You're so fucking excited. You got all these tidbits of information. And then you get back to life and you just get so busy working and doing the
Yep.
things that you never have time to like, that was so good. Like I envisioned myself implementing that in my business and then I got too busy to implement. And
Right.
that's, yeah, if you trade the hours that you're spending in the classroom for still block it out on your calendar and have that like CEO time, if you will,
Yeah. Yep.
to like work on your business, then how much are you going to get done? I mean, it's even like
my
our
God.
CMC group this year, we
Yeah.
have all of our businesses have grown and all of our lives have gotten really busy because we've learned so much and it's been so valuable, but it's gotten to a point where the masses decided that we need to be every other week instead of every week because we need more
Right.
time because we've grown. And
Yeah.
I attribute a lot of that growing to the free coaching that we get from each other in our weekly meetings. So I think this is going to be great. I think that, yeah, we need a little bit more time to do the things instead of learning the things.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
here for that as well. Okay. So then in simplification for me, this is
Mm-hmm.
me. So if you guys rewind to when we were recording about this time last year, you probably heard me say this year, I'm just going to throw absolutely everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And I've been struggling with what's my word of the year going to be for this coming year. And that's it. It's simplification. So there are so many areas in my life. And I'm seeing this as I'm onboarding a team assistant that will at some point become a team member licensed and working with us on the team. But as I'm like assigning things to her, I can see that some of my processes are overcomplicated and they don't need to be. And it's like that in every part of my life. It's not just like
Yeah.
that in the things I'm assigning to this person. It's like that in my home. It's like that when I grocery shop. There are things that I could do to streamline things and simplify things. And that's going to be the not saying yes to everything too. It kind of all plays together, but
Yeah.
simplification is in. So you'll find me saying more no's. You'll find me doing less, spending less, because those things are going to make my life simpler.
Yeah.
And then the spending less, spend less on small little shit. And then we've got more to do
Yes.
the bigger things that I want to do. Like
Right.
I desperately want a mile long paved road to my
Yeah. You've
house.
been talking about that for a long time.
Gang, that shit's not cheap.
No, it's
That
not.
shit is like buying a house in some states of the US is what we're going to
Yeah.
have to pay for to do this.
Yeah.
But that will improve the quality of my life
Yeah.
tremendously and open other doors that I want opened. And so like less of the stupid Amazon shopping and more of the saving for the high ticket items that are going to
Yeah.
change our lives. Like that
That's
fucking sweater's nice, but it's not going to change my life.
no. Ooh, you want to know what's in for
Tell
me?
me.
And this is, you mentioned the sweater. And I am not typically this way, but like more, this goes along with the idea of that I want to do more personal branding is in for me this year. But with that is like more of a capsular wardrobe.
Girl, rent it.
I've done that
Really?
before. I liked it, but I love this idea of the Stephanie Olivero, like very simple, like chic. Like I have been rotating the same things, and I've noticed even getting reactions from other people about it recently is very interesting. Like even David was like, "Wow, I really like this like whole look vibe you're going for recently," and it's very also on brand with my personal brand and my business brand, right? Like it's a lot of blacks and a lot of reds and a lot of camel and a lot of, that has been, and also it's so much easier. I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm wearing these same black jeans again, but doesn't it look good?
Right. Like if they look good, why not?
Yeah. Yes, I am wearing all black again. But look, it looks so great. Or like even when I think about doing my nails, I love to have red nails. That's just part of who I am and my personal brand. Like that, I like that. So I think capsular wardrobe is like a very small thing, but also like really leaning into, and that is simplifying, like really leaning into what is your personal brand and what does that look and feel like. And you can have a brand, and I'm not just talking about business. Like if you really think about it, like what is your personal brand for your life? Like how do you want your life to be? How do you want your life to look? How do you want it to feel? Those are the things that and personal brand is just a way to put a label on it, right? But like really thinking about, okay, I want for us to be a family that travels. That's part of my personal brand. Like that's important to me. That's part of my goals. That's part of like how I want to raise my kids. So what do I need to do to be able to do that for us? Anyway, so personal branding is in for me this year on so many levels.
I love it.
And capsular wardrobe.
I'm here for
So
it.
if you
That's the
see
simplification.
me
Yeah.
wearing the same outfits over and over again, just be like, good for you. That's so good for the environment.
Yeah. Well, I know. And I do keep thinking that. And I hear myself telling the kids, like, that's wasteful and that's not going to keep the earth here for you. Like, let's stop that. Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want you to have a good, full life with not the sun scorching through the ozone layer. Okay.
Okay.
Out for me is freebies.
Oh yeah, this is out for us this year.
This is out for both
And
of us.
that came up, and it's a weird thing, especially because we come from a place of abundance and we come from a place of collaboration. But I think that there's a point where like you can't just give it all away.
Right.
You can't just give it all away. Like there has to be some sort of exchange, or there has to be something.
Here's 2 reasons why. 1, if I give you something for free, do you value it?
Right.
Where's the value?
Right.
2, if I could use that time that I'm using to give you this freebie to generate income somewhere else, how's that fair?
Right.
We're all business owners.
If you've put a lot of time, energy, effort, money, brain power, whatever into something, sometimes it's okay. I feel like it has to be at your discretion, right? Like
Yeah.
if that feels good to you and you feel fine about it, give it away. If you don't, then don't. Like don't feel
Right.
like you have to. Like it's just not
Right.
that you don't need to do that. We had this kind of discussion because somebody asked me for some I had spent time and money creating some like manuals or whatever, and they're not a big deal, but somebody asked me for them, like just for free, like not a client, like another agent. And I had this, I was torn back and forth, like, oh, I want to collaborate without ego, or I want to be helpful, or whatever.
I don't want to gatekeep. Like
But I
those
don't
are all
wanna
values we
gatekeep.
have.
Yeah, but I paid somebody a lot of money and we spent a lot of time creating these. So like I don't want to just give this away.
Right.
So I didn't. And I very nicely told that person, happy to give you the name of the woman that I worked with to put these together, but I don't
Well,
feel
and
like
that was
so.
respecting that person as well.
Yes, that's what I said to him. I was just like, I want to be respectful of the time and energy and effort that this creative businesswoman put together for me. And I don't want to just give it away, right? But here, you can hire her if you want to,
Right.
So,
Well, recently somebody was looking over my shoulder at work and seeing a bunch of the things that I've spent 2.5 years building to be
yeah.
just right. And they're still a work in progress. It's never going to be perfect. And she said to me, I really would like to, and she gave me this gift. And this is kind of where it started for me. And she's like, I'd really like to have one of those things you did, one of the items that you've built. I'm very happy to pay you for that. And
Yeah.
that gave me the permission of, yeah, you're right. I'm at a place where I'm not going to give these away. And we've had this conversation with other people that will remain unnamed that had the realization of like, all this that I'm doing for free is taking away from income generation that I could be doing in that time. And that's
Yeah.
okay. And I give every one of us permission. Like at the end of the day, unfortunately or fortunately, we live in a capitalistic society where time is money. And we the cost of fucking everything is up. So here we are.
Yeah. So here we are.
Out for you is goals that make you feel bad.
Yeah. These were this similar.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this, but I was just like using the goal. Like, again, this is a little bit of a reframe of like, I want to continue to get healthy. And so I'm going to frame that goal as like, I want to be healthy and I want to be strong versus like, my body's not good enough the way it is. So it needs to be different.
Yeah.
So things like that for me, goals that you're setting for yourself because in a way that are making you bad for how you are out for me. Only goals that validate the goodness in you and your constant and your want to improve yourself. Those are the goals. Those are in. Otherwise it's out.
In for me, it kind of links with your authenticity, but it's the extreme confidence and then also trusting my intuition and trusting myself.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in for me.
I love that. Love it.
Let's see.
What else do we have on there?
An out for me, this goes along with my simplification, but multitasking.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to do better. Susie says people can't multitask. I disagree. I think that I can, but I think that I could multitask less than I do.
Well, and I think the point of that is you can multitask, but the quality of the work that's being produced is not the same as if you were not multitasking. If you were just single-mindedly focusing on what you were doing, I think that's That's the difference. Okay.
Oh, in adult hobbies.
Oh yeah, this is mine. Adult hobbies, and you wanted this one too. Okay, so a year and a half ago, I took up tennis, and I freaking love it. And then I started doing weightlifting, like lifting more versus just like cardio exercise or whatever. So I've been doing that for a year. So I think I'm going to continuing those quote unquote hobbies, but I think I want to add a new hobby. New adult hobby is so in for me. So in 2025, and I'm thinking I'm going to add a new one. I don't know what it is yet, but I think I want it to be more like, I don't know, something. I'm going to find something fun. I think there was like an idea of like, maybe I'll do like a dance class, or maybe I'll do something like, maybe it's mahjong. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to pick a new adult hobby because at one point in my life, probably 3 years ago, I had no hobbies, and people would ask me like, what's your hobby? And I was like, I don't know. I'm a parent. I don't have time for hobbies. But now we're making time for hobbies because that's important. And I see the positive impact that those have on my kids. Mom plays tennis. Mom works out. Mom exercises. For Christmas, our kids this year decided, this was so sweet. They decided, never have they done this before, but they decided to get David and I each a gift just from them, and they used their own money to do it. And they bought me tennis shoes because they knew that I loved tennis. And I just thought that that was, well, one, just like so incredible. And I was very proud of the fact that I'm raising humans who wanted to do that for us out of their own heart and generosity. And Vivian organized the whole thing, and then Everett paid for everything. Like
he's your little money bags, right? He's the money bag.
He's a Scrooge McDuck. And they all have, the two older ones have debit cards now. So anyway, so he tapped his debit card and paid for everything himself. It's so sweet. Anyway, but that has a positive impact on them. They see that. They see that I spend the time and the energy and the money on doing something that I enjoy that makes me healthier. And that way that allows them to do that as well. So some sort of new adult hobby is going to happen in 2025 for me. I'm still figuring out what I want that to be.
I love that. So on that topic, I also want an adult hobby, and I added more books to my list for this year. But then the other thing on it is play. Like, I want to have fun. I want to have more fun in those hobbies, in those things. Like right now, I feel like my hobbies are work because I do love it. It fills my soul to do the things that I do. But I know that that is not all that I should be doing. I need to be having fun. I need to be playing.
I started tennis because I thought it would be a great networking opportunity.
Of course, yeah.
And then I leaned into it that way. And then I realized that I freaking love it. So
okay, have you gotten any clients from tennis?
No. No, I haven't. But I've made great relationships with people. It's an opportunity for me to talk to people about things. It's an interesting part of me that I get to contribute to other people. Has it directly related to me getting any clients? No. But it might in the future.
Yeah. Well, you're building a new community. You're building a tennis community, and that's great. But also, who cares? It's not about that. It's about having fun.
It was my way to justify doing something because I prioritize work so hard. So that was my way of justifying doing something for myself for fun. And it turns out I just liked it. And that's okay. That's a great reason to do something.
Amazing. Okay, well, we got through them all, and what great timing, because now I need to log out and then go to more therapy. This is like therapy for me. And spoiler alert, we've been taking Emmy, and the therapist called me after our last visit and said, Cheryl, I think I'd really like to see you alone, which was probably her way of saying, Cheryl, you're a fucking hot mess. Get your ass in here. So
maybe not. But.
I cried 3 times during the session. It is what it is. It's a fucking heavy season in that part of life. And I will take the support. I'm going to ask for help. And this person offered it, and I'm going to show up for it.
Great.
So guys, keep doing it right. We love you. I love you, Colleen. I love being here. I love this. This is like,
I want to hear everybody's ins and outs too.
I do too.
Please share them with us.
We'll do an Instagram post, and you guys like make it rain.
Yeah,
we
I
love
wanna
you.
hear what we're doing.
Hey, and get ready to see a lot more social media because shout out to
yes.
Miss Hannah, our director of dreams, is
Yes.
new on board and gonna be crushing life with us. So
I know. I'm so
we
excited.
asked for help, guys.
We asked for help. We needed it.
All right. Keep doing it right. Talk to you guys
Bye.
next week. Bye.
That's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on this journey of laughter, life, and growth.
And remember, you're not alone on this path to success. We're right here with you every step of the way.
Please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's conversation, we'd be thrilled if you would leave us a review on your favorite platform. Your feedback means the world to us.
And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family, and anyone who could use a good laugh and some practical insight into navigating the challenges and triumphs of our minds, body, soul, and business.
Remember, we're doing this right.